Hello, online crew. Let's talk about engagement today. If you feel like you're lacking engagement on your social media content, I want to give you some things to think about as to maybe why that is the case. And you can evaluate what I'm going to share with you. Oh, where am I not streaming? We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. Every day there's something new. We're live okay on Instagram. Hello to everybody over there. No, that's I think we're live in the group, are we? But not live on my business page. There's actually nothing I can do about that right now. Oh well, because I can't share from the group to the page. I'll have to download it and upload later. Anyway. Technical difficulties, the joys of technology and trying to stream in multiple places at once. Anyway, we're live in my group and on Instagram and on YouTube, just not on my business page. All good. We'll keep on going. So what I want to share with you here, I think I'm live in my group anyway, is 3 things to think about regarding your engagement on social media. So if it's lacking, here's some things to think about. It's a very common complaint of people on social media that you're posting, you're putting all the effort into creating the content, but you're just not getting much love back. So if that's how you feel, I just want to give you, there's lots of tips I could give you, but just want to give you 3 particular sort of things to think about in the quality of your content that might help you increase engagement. Okay. Firstly, just before I go into that, I just want to say thank you for those of you in the coaching community that turned up to the live Q&A Zoom call I just did before this live. We talked about lots of things to deal with building your business online. That's what those calls are for. And we talked about lots about reels and strategies and edits and how to use them and trial reels and all sorts of tips. So if you are a coaching community member and you missed that live Q&A Zoom call, just go into the Facebook group for the coaching community and you can watch the replay straight away. And we'll email it out shortly anyway. Okay. So first thing to consider if you've got a little bit of a lack of engagement on your social media posts. It could be because you are talking at people and you're not talking with people. So let me explain what I mean by that. So many people in the industry, like you post about information, you make announcements, you share updates, you talk about things, but you're talking really at people. You're not really sharing like the story and including your audience in the conversation, in the content. Okay. Engagement happens when people feel part of like the content, the story. They feel included. Okay. So just evaluate your content. Like go back to your content and sort of scroll it and just think, like, look at the words or look at the information that you've been sharing and just think to yourself, am I talking at my audience? Or am I talking with my audience? Am I having a conversation with my content? So if you're lacking that little bit of that piece, what I would encourage you to do is just think about, how do I change the language in my post or my live or my reel where I'm encouraging like the conversation? I'm actually having more of a conversation with my audience. If your post, whatever content that is, doesn't give somebody a reason to respond, they just won't. If there's no reason, like if they don't feel engaged in the conversation, if you haven't asked a question, if you haven't asked an opinion, if you haven't like pitched it in a way where it feels like you're having a conversation with the person reading it, there is no reason for people to respond. So if you want more engagement, think about, reworking your content to have more of a conversation with your audience, not at your audience. Okay. If you're just posting about things all the time and you're not including the reader, or the viewer into your dialogue, then the engagement is naturally going to be low. So there's the first thing to think about. Okay. The second thing to think about, and I would encourage you to get a little bit bolder with this one, is your content is probably too safe. So what do I mean by that? It's probably a little bit boring. So people are just scrolling past it. So if your content is really safe, it's just going to be, scrolled past, no real reason to engage or comment. Think of, it doesn't mean you have to be controversial, but think about something that would provoke somebody to comment or ask somebody's opinion or share your opinion, and that'll encourage others to respond to that and share their opinion. So it really comes down to you standing for something. What do you stand for? Whether it's a product based, health based, or whether it's business based, or something that you've been able to achieve that's without, doing what normal people do. Let me give you an example. Maybe you've lost weight, but you exercised less. And you might say, yeah, right, Helen, but that's actually my reality. In my weight loss story, I actually exercised less when I started my weight loss journey. That's a story for another day. But just saying to people, you can lose weight without being a slave to the gym. Like, you don't have to pound the pavement to lose weight. Like, what is it that you stand for? And that really comes back to kind of like your personal brand, knowing who it is that you help, and what it is that you help them with. What is the problem that you're solving, and how do you solve it? And be really convicted in that, and be bold and have posture around that, and be really, really clear. You don't need to be controversial. You just need to be really, really clear. Okay. So if I scanned your social media, do I know what you stand for? Do I know what you help people with? Do I know how you help people with that particular thing? Okay. So it's standing for something. It's having an opinion. It's, being really bold in something. So just kind of think, evaluate your content again. If your content is all really safe and soft, and it doesn't stand out in any way, then there's no real reason to attract somebody's attention. Okay, so have a think about how you might be able to mix things up a little bit with your content and not be so safe. Okay, the third one that's a good one to think about is, are you posting, and this is going to sound a little bit contradictory, but you're posting more like a business and not like a human? Okay, now what do I mean by that? So firstly, I'm sure a lot of you are on social media to build your business. So you might be thinking, well, that doesn't really make sense, Helen, because I want to build my business and I'm posting to build my business. Yes, I get that. But how you're delivering the content is really, really important, because you can, your content can have a flavor to it that feels too businessy. So you've lost the human connection. In this industry of network marketing, social selling, whatever you want to call it, we are in a relationship business. When people feel like they trust you, when they feel like they know you, when they feel like you're genuine, when they feel like you're really consistent with what you talk about, like you keep talking about the same thing over and over and over again, you do it with passion, you do it with conviction, you do it boldly, you do it with a strong message so it's not boring, now you're going to get human connection. If you're too businessy, so again, like with number one that I mentioned, like you're talking about things, like it's very information based, it's very factual based, there's no real story or emotion behind it, then you're missing the human connection. And if you're missing human connection in your posts, or your reels or your lives, whatever kind of content you're doing, and even in your stories, then you won't be building that trust and that human connection that makes people want to engage because they feel safe with you. They trust you. They're more than happy to engage in conversation with you because they like you. Okay. So the third one to think about when you're evaluating your content is, am I just sharing information? Do I look a little bit too businessy? Or am I sharing content that actually creates a human connection? So people feel your content, like there's emotion behind it. Something I share a lot and have done for years is the difference between information and emotion. So if your content is mainly just information and you're talking at your audience, not with your audience, you're not having a really good conversation with your audience, and it's a little bit safe, like all the three things that I've mentioned here, that's probably why your content is falling a little bit flat. So we want emotion instead of just information. And you can deliver information with emotion, by the way, but the emotion is what is the key behind it. Emotion is what makes people feel that they know you, they like you, they trust you. So there's a human connection. When there's a human connection, people are more likely to get curious, engage in the conversation, and even purchase from you. Does that make sense? Your audience doesn't need you to be perfect. It doesn't need you to be, have the best sales strategies, any of those kind of things. They just need you to be you. Your biggest asset on social media is just being genuinely, authentically you. Real voice, real face, real language. If you script out things, be careful that it doesn't sound like you're reading. If it sounds like you're reading, people can see through that as well. So you might have really good information, but how are you actually delivering the message? Okay. Every live video I do, every single live video I do, including this one, and I'll show you, I have notes. So I'll have bullet points. They're always handwritten. There's a very good reason for that. When you get a pen and put paper down and you're like, what am I going to talk about on my live video coming up this week? You come up with a topic. You might research it by ChatGPT. But even though I've researched it, I will always kind of look at what I've researched, and then I will put it in my own language in handwritten notes. And I have my notes, like I'm on live on my computer here. On Facebook. I'm not sure if the live worked on my business page or not, but my keyboard is on an angle and I've got my phone up here on a stand, okay, in front of me on an angle, because my keyboard's, does that make sense? Like that. I've got my handwritten notes, okay? There's my handwritten notes, just 2 pages, messy handwriting. I've got my heading of this live video up here. This is page 1. This is page 2. It's on the back of, that's financial reports. I better not show you that. It's on the back of scrap paper. I keep all my pieces of paper that ordinarily people would screw up and put them in the bin. I just tear them in half, and I have piles of paper this size, and that's what I write my notes with for my live videos. And these are just sitting on my screen here. So I know what my tip 1 is that I've told you about. Tip 2, tip 3, I can look down. I'm looking at my notes. It doesn't matter that I'm looking at notes. Don't be afraid to have notes, but I'm not reading. Okay. Even if you write a well-crafted written post, so obviously this is a live, I've got my notes in front of me, I'm looking down as reminders so I don't miss what I want to say, but I'm saying it in my voice, the conversation is flowing, I'm just delivering it, quite genuinely. Even written posts, you can use ChatGPT to get all your information. We're so lucky to have a tool like that these days to give us inspiration for our social media posts. But if you keep it all scripted, like it generally is from ChatGPT, and even like a written post, and you copy and paste to a written post, I guarantee you, unless you edit it in some way with your story, your language, or like with human connection in mind, it's just going to come across as information, because there's going to be emotion missing. The one thing ChatGPT can't give you is your emotions, your expressions. So you can overdo AI. It can give you amazing content, but if you are not delivering your content, whether you're speaking in your stories, whether you're doing a live video, whether you're doing a reel, a talking reel, or a B-roll with words in it, if those words or your language is not authentic and genuine and feel like you're having a normal kind of conversation with your audience, then they're not going to engage, because they don't feel like they're part of the conversation. They feel like they're being talked at with a lot of information. So how do you feel that you measure up to those kind of things? Do you think you're being genuine and authentic enough, or are you over scripting the content for your videos? Use teleprompters and things like that. Absolutely, they can help you keep on track. But if you sound like you're reading something, people will tell. And then you're losing the authenticity that creates that human connection. I mean, I can't see any of you right now. There would be, I know there's people watching on Instagram and Facebook and potentially YouTube. Like, I know there's somebody there on the other side of this screen. I can't see you, but I am talking to you as if I can see you. Can you actually feel that from me? Like, I feel like I'm having a conversation with you, even though I can't see anybody. That's just the way I normally treat my social media. I mean, and that can take time, because maybe that doesn't feel natural to you. Certainly didn't to me when I first started, doing live videos on social media. That's the way you want to treat your social media, whether you're speaking in a live video, whether you're doing a reel or a story, a live, or even a written post. So the next post that you do, the next story that you do, the next reel that you create, the next live video like this, like, think about how you're delivering the message. If you're not talking to your audience, like you're kind of engaging with them and including them in the conversation, they just won't engage. They feel like they're being talked at, not having a conversation with. Okay. Thank you, Carolyn. Appreciate your comment there. Okay. So I hope that is sort of clear as to the way that you need to come across in your content if you want to get more engagement. You can it is so easy to come across like you're talking at people and not with them. You're reading a lot. It's all manufactured content. It may be good content, but you've lost your personality in how you're delivering it and how you're writing it. So write like if somebody was sitting next to you in your lounge room, how would you talk to them in a video? Or if you were writing it, how would you kind of say it to them? Even if you were like writing it out, how would you actually like interpret that as if you were speaking it to somebody? How would you include them in the conversation? That's what I recommend you do more of in 2026. The thing that's key for my business at the moment and giving me the results that I have is that I show up. I show my face. I speak. People hear my voice. I talk quite genuinely and authentically. I mix up my words. I make mistakes. I don't care. You guys are quite forgiving, which is a good thing, but that's what you want to do. It's the genuine, authentic you that people want to engage with. Information is information. Words are words. Content from ChatGPT is just content from ChatGPT. You deliver the emotion. You bring in the genuineness. You bring in the authenticity. And when people feel like they know you and they trust you and they like you and that you're being really genuine in your content, they will engage more. Guarantee it. Okay? There are so many things that affects engagement. I mean, yes, there's algorithm things, etc. But if you are on platforms, particularly like Instagram and TikTok, where you are doing like short form videos every day and you've got a brand that you represent, even on Facebook, get really, really clear with who you're talking to and what you're talking to them about and the problem that you solve. The clearer you are in those things, the more engagement that you'll get, because you'll find your right tribe. You'll find your right people, and you've got the ability to do that on every platform. If you're here, there, and everywhere, and you don't really have a strategy around your content, and it's doing all those things that I just talked about before, like talking at people, too much information, not enough emotion, not enough story, not enough kind of questioning or query or opinions, those kind of things, then that's where your content is going to fall very flat. So own your brand, know your personal brand, who you help, what you help them with. Be really clear about that with your content, but speak with conviction, consistency, passion, genuineness, authenticity, and you will eventually find the right tribe that speak that language as well, that are going on that journey with you, that are looking to solve that problem that you keep talking about all the time. And when you find the right people through the algorithms, you'll get a lot more engagement. So you might have amazing content, but if you're not talking to the right people, maybe you're just talking to your family and friends, and your family and friends don't really care about what you do, then you're not being clear enough about who you're talking to and the problem you solve for them, because you need to attract more of those people. And when you attract more of those people and you do it in a genuine and authentic way, then you'll end up having more engagement and more conversation. Does that make sense? And I guess I'll just say two quick things. This is if you need to find more people that are in your target market with the problem that you solve, short form video. That's the whole reason why I did the Reels Bootcamp last week. You need to do more Reels on Instagram, Facebook, or short form video on TikTok. The other thing around all of this is your mindset as to how you show up on social media. And don't go into the mindset when you create content of how to get people. So how to get a customer or how to get a team member. You want to come in with the mindset of, who can I help today? Who can I share? What can I share today that's going to be helpful to somebody that might need my product? Or what can I share today that might help somebody solve their financial problems by having a business vehicle like this? Like, the way you go into your business and pitch your business on social media will have a direct correlation to your engagement. So where does your mindset sit with that? Are you trying to get people? Like, what can I post today to get a customer? What can I post today to get a team member? Or what can I post today that's going to be helpful to somebody that they will be intrigued enough to want to ask about my product or my business opportunity? Okay. That's all up here in how you approach not only your business, but the industry, and the problems that you solve. I was just to finish off, the last thing I wanted to finish off, I was just sharing this on the coaching community live Q&A Zoom call. Just as some of you may know, if you saw my live video yesterday, congratulations to Debbie for winning that one-on-one call with me. We'll have that soon. We've got that lined up for next week. Is watching, like, I don't know if any of you follow tennis or the Australian Open, but it's a world-class event here in Australia, the Australian Open. Like, the world's best tennis players come here to play, and it's just, I love it, and that's why our family went. But as I was explaining on the live Q&A Zoom call earlier, the one thing that keeps standing out to me by watching the games live and still watching on the TV and listening to all the commentators, you think of a professional sports player, like take tennis for an example. It's the thing that gets the person out on top, whether they're number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yes, it's all the physical stuff. It's the skills training they do. It's all the effort they put in the off season. They are doing the hard yards when no one's watching. What are you doing for your business when no one's watching? What skills are you learning for your business when no one's watching? What content are you preparing when no one's watching? Like, it's what you do when no one's watching, not just turning up on social media and doing a a post or a live or a story and expecting lots of engagement. Like that's just the outside. What's happening on the inside? Like, what skills are you working on your business to become the best version of you in your business and the leader that you need to become? Like, if you recruit one person or attract a customer, you need to have a follow-up customer service strategy and all the rest of it. Like, you need to lead yourself before you can ever lead a team or customers and look after them. So there's all of that. But what I'm trying to say is it's all mindset. The best in the world have it up here. They've got to control their emotions. They've got to practice even when they don't feel like it. They've got to listen to their coaches. They've got to do the hard yards. They've got to put the work in even when they don't feel like it. They've got to get up early. They've got to practice for hours and hours and hours and hours to get all the physical side of being a professional in their sport. But what really gets them to become the best in the world at the end of the day is what's going on up here. No different for you and your business. You can learn all the skills, you can learn all the fancy stuff, you can learn the reels and the TikToks and posting strategies and all the shiny things. But it's your belief in your business, it's your consistency in your business, it's owning your business, it's the posture in your business, it's the personal brand behind your business. It's showing up consistently, not just when you feel like it. It's posting every day, not just when you feel like it. It's messaging people and having conversations even when you don't feel like it. It's doing follow-up with your leads even when you don't feel like it. That's what's going to build you an amazing business. Totally different worlds apart from a professional tennis player to what we do in this industry, but so many similarities in how you become the best at what you want and how you get better results. Okay. I hope that makes sense. For what it's worth, it just, sitting there watching the tennis, it's just like you can see their brains ticking over, and it's the one that's in the most control up here, irrespective of all their physical abilities, that becomes the best in the world. Now, you don't need to be the best in the world, but if you want a better business and to earn more money, you might need to do some more work up here. Maybe not. Up to you. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. Evaluate your content against those 3 things that I mentioned in today's video and see if you can execute some little changes to help your content get more engagement. Okay, so this is my last live video for this week. And thank you again to all of those who attended the Reels Bootcamp, and congratulations to Debbie again for our one-on-one call, which we'll be having next week. And I'll really look forward to seeing you all next week for more great training. Bye.